Go.
So men's tennis has been in a golden era in the past 2 decades. The big three, Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, and Novak Djokovic, have shown an utter dominance of the sport that we have never seen ever in tennis. So this has fostered many different discussions, most hotly debated of which is who is the greatest tennis player of all time. So these three have emerged as the clear favorites to whoever is the greatest tennis player. So Roger Federer is loved for his skill, for his influence over the whole sport of tennis. Rafael Nadal has the fiery passion that exudes everywhere from his game. And Novak Djokovic, he represents success. He is the winningest tennis player of all time, for sure. But why should you care? You care because these people are your role models, right? These people, they represent tennis to everybody. So we value them for very specific reasons that I'll go into today. Roger Federer is our first candidate, and he was the first to come out, and he made waves in the late 90s and early 2000s for his game that was graceful, elegant, and unlike anything anybody had ever seen before. He has done a lot for tennis as a whole. He's now retired, but his influence is still felt today. Matthew Futterman from the New York Times communicates a quote from ATP co-founder who says, "Roger's a great player and person off the court. He became a great ambassador for tennis as a whole." And to put it simply, Roger is tennis. There'll never be another like him, there'll never be someone as influential as him, and he is one of a kind. Rafael Nadal shows the competitive passion of tennis. Tennis has one of the most mental sports possible. So his mental fortitude, his aggression, and his intensity are all higher than any other player to play or have played. It's hard mentally on anybody because every week you go through, there's a different tournament, you might win, you might lose. And that's hard on everybody. He's been quoted as saying, "I have lived my whole life with intensity." That's from BrainyQuote.com. He attributes all of his success to his mental game, which is his greatest aspect by far. Finally, Novak Djokovic. He is by far the most successful, most dominant player on tour, and probably will ever be on tour. As of right now, he has 23 Grand Slams, working on 24. He has 389 weeks at the number one spot, which is more than anybody in history, male or female. He has winning records against the other two, Roger and Rafa, so he has statistically, undoubtedly, the best career of all time. Now, that does not equate to greatness, though, as everybody interprets greatness in a different way. In truth, you can call whoever you want the GOAT. But really, it depends on you. It depends on what you value. It could be, do you value what they bring to the sport? Do you value their influence? What about their passion? What about the way they go about bringing tennis to you? Is it just based purely off success? Is it the most simple metric? So does that mean Roger is the greatest ever to hold the racket? Is Rafa the greatest ever to hold the racket? Or is Novak the greatest ever to hold the racket? So these three people teach us what we value in our role models and what we value in our future players. When you understand what greatness means to you, you can use that to better yourself and use that as fire to keep yourself going, and you will always have that in your mind. And greatness cannot be attributed to just one thing. So it's really up to you to determine what you value. Thank you. Are there any questions?
Woo!